Good afternoon to all the faculties and the professors who have joined in here. We will be starting the session at sharp 3:05. So I kindly request to inform your faculty members to join in quickly for the session. Thank you. Good afternoon to all the professors again. This is a gentle reminder that we will be starting the session sharp at 3:05 p.m. So I kindly request to inform your faculty members to join in quickly for the session. Good afternoon, all. We'll be starting the session in few minutes. A very good afternoon to all the faculties, directors, HOD, and professors who have joined us in here for today. On behalf of XLR, I sincerely thank you all for taking your time to be a part of this faculty development program on generative AI for teaching and learning for the upcoming 5 days. So before we begin, let me give you a quick walkthrough to introduction to XLR. XLR was founded by an IIM ISB alumni in the year 2013, and it has 8 branches in 8 cities with its headquarters in Houston, USA. So far, XLR has trained over 8 lakh plus students and professionals across various domains catering to individuals, institutions, and industries. So, few of our premium associations include iHub Divya Sampark, Naipunyam, Skill AP, Apshe, TASK, BFSI, NASCOM Future Skill Prime, and many more. With over a decade of excellence in training, we have conducted 1,000 plus webinars, offered 30 plus technical courses, collaborated with 2,000 plus academic partners, and worked with 5,000 plus placement partners. We have also trained 80,000 plus faculty through the faculty development program and around 8 lakh plus students through the student development program. Till date, we have about 8 lakh 28,853 students participating and 76,577 faculties who have been participating in our everyday learning program. So for today's faculty development program on generative AI, we have registrations from various states where Maharashtra stands the highest with 273 registrations, followed by Karnataka with 258 and Andhra Pradesh and many more. We also have registrations from various streams such as engineering, MBA, MCA, and degree. And today's registration as of is about 1,216 registrations. So our everyday learning initiative focuses on providing application and industry-oriented learning on trending technologies for free from industry experts with in-depth knowledge on the subject. The goal is to provide hands-on learning experience, help students and faculty with real-world applications, support institutions in meeting NAC and NBA requirements. And you can also find the registration link in the chat box. Learners can click on it to register, or they may also visit the XLR website to complete their registration. Upon successful completion of the program, participants will receive a participation certificate. Additionally, we also collaborate with colleges by signing MOUs to conduct and collaborate for the student and the faculty development programs, along with placement readiness drives to support students in their career development. Through the Everyday Learning program, participants benefit from 30 plus hours of professional training, assignments and assessments, real world industry use cases, placement preparation session, coding challenges and campus recruitment training, a lifetime LMS access, and certificates for participation. So this is how our LMS dashboards look like. The learner can log in using the username and password that they have received through their email after registration, and they can access the courses they have enrolled in. They can also view the courses they have registered for in the past. So far, we have conducted around 70 plus student development programs, and we have 2,000 plus colleges who have been participating regularly with around 2,300 plus hours delivered and 8 lakh students enrollments. And some of the common programs in the student development program are Advanced Excel, Salesforce, ChatGPT and AI, and full stack development, and many more. Among the faculty, we have delivered around 600 plus hours with a total of 50 plus faculties development programs and 2,000 plus colleges participating and 2 lakh plus faculties who have enrolled for the programs. Among the faculty development program, we have digital marketing, data analytics, deep learning and AI, and many more other programs which are common. So this is how our student and faculty development certificates look like. These certificates will be given to the learners after they register for the program and attend the live online classes regularly every day. It is important for the learners to mark their attendance in each session so as to be eligible to receive the certificate upon completion. These were a few recent engagements. We have successfully conducted programs at prestigious institutions like IIT Roorkee, where we have conducted training on data analytics using Minitab. This was at BITS Bilani Hyderabad campus, where this was a student initiative and student approach XLR to conduct programs on Power BI and machine learning. We also had a Skiller program for the final years, which was a 240 plus hours of campus recruitment training with placement assistance that had started from Jan 2024 up to April 2024 and had covered coding skills, quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal ability, soft skills, and at the end, there was also a resume and LinkedIn profile building, and also group discussion and personal interviews for the students. This is a participation certificate that was provided to the students after completing the Skiller program, and this was issued by IHUB Divya Sampar, which is a joint initiative of IIT Roorkee and the Government of India's Department of Science and Technology, where out of 50,000 students, only 5,200 students were eligible for the certificate that was based and given based on their attendance and their assignments. These are a few newspaper snippets covering the Skill Up program. And you can see here, we have maximum registrations from APSSDC, where around 10,150 engineering students attended the online Skill Up program. These were a few programs which we have conducted in the month of. So coming to today's teaching and learning, it is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed guests for today. We are honored to have distinguished academicians with us who bring decades of experience, research, excellence, and contribution to education and innovation. Firstly, we have Dr. L.Y. Wagmode, who is a director at Anna Sahib Dange College of Engineering and Technology, Ashta. He is a professor in mechanical engineering with 23 years of teaching experience and currently serving as the director of NASA, guided around 15 MTech students, co-guided one PhD scholar, and currently mentors 8 PhD candidates with 23 research publications in national and international platforms. He has held key administrative roles including Vice Principal, Registrar, and NIRF Nodal Officer, and serves as reviewer for the ASME journals. He is also a member of the ASME, ISTE, and SRESA and contributes to various university level boards and committees. So since sir is a little busy, on behalf of Dr. Wagmode sir, we have Dr. Madhav Salunke, who is a FDP coordinator from Anna Sahib Dange College. So over to you, Madhav. Tony, can you just confirm if sir has joined?
Yes, Sheetal, he is facing some internet issues, so we'll join later.
Okay. So we have the next guest from academia. We have Dr. Jayasudha K, who is a professor and head of department, AI and ML department, Sri Krishna Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Dr. Jayasudha is a professor and head at AI and ML department at Sri Krishna Institute with over 25 years plus academic and research experience. She holds a PhD in computer science and engineering. She has 33 international journal papers, 3 books, 4 book chapters, and 6 patents and currently guides 2 research scholars. Her expertise includes AI, ML, deep learning, generative AI, agentic AI, data science, and data visualization. She is actively involved as a reviewer, session chair, resource person, and an academic mentor. So, Jayasudha ma'am, we would like to hear a few words from your end.
Hello, good afternoon to all. It's a matter of great pleasure that Sri Krishna Institute of Technology has been associated with XLR EdTech Private Limited through an MOU signed in January 2024. As a part of this collaboration, XLR has been supporting our institution through various faculty development programs, skill development programs, student development programs, internship assistance, and other academic initiatives. Today's FDP on generative AI is particularly significant as it focuses on one of the most emerging and transformative areas of technology. I'm confident that this 5-day online FTP will provide valuable insights, practical knowledge, and opportunities for professional growth. I extend my best wishes to all the faculty members of SKIT and the participating faculty members from other institutions as well. I encourage all the participants to actively engage in the sessions, interact with the resource persons, and make the best possible use of this learning opportunity. Wishing everyone a fruitful, enriching, and successful 5-day faculty development program. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful and informative talk. It was a pleasure having you with us today. So, Dr. Madhav sir is facing some technical issues. He'll be joining us back. So, next we have Dr. Sangeeta M., who is a subject matter expert for today. She's a founder and CEO of Skills Incorporation, delivering impactful training programs, workshops, and internships across multiple domains. Her proven track record as technical trainer, SME, and consultant across academia and industry, training students and professionals in programming and soft skills. Her strong expertise is in Python, Java, C, C++, .NET, SQL, AIML, and Power BI and RPA, which is backed by Microsoft, Cisco, and global certification. So, Dr. Sangeeta ma, we would like to hear a few words from your side.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. It's a great pleasure and privilege to be the part of this inaugural session of the Faculty Development Program on Generative AI for Teaching and Learning. First of all, I sincerely thank XLR for giving me this opportunity to be associated with this FDP as a subject matter expert. I'm delighted to see faculty members coming together from premier institutions across India to explore one of the most transformative technologies of our time. So generative AI is no longer just a technological trend. It is becoming an important part of education, research, and professional development. As educators, we are at an exciting point where technology can significantly enhance the way we teach and the way our students learn. So generative AI can help us create lesson plans, teaching materials, assessments, activities, presentations, and personalized learning resources. Most importantly, it can help us move from traditional content delivery towards more interactive, engaging, and learner-centered education. At the same time, our responsibility as educators is to ensure that AI is used responsibly, ethically, and effectively. So AI can provide information, ideas, and assistance, but the experience, judgment, creativity, and human connection of a teacher remain extremely important. So I encourage all the participants to actively participate, ask questions, share your experience, and most importantly, try the rules practically. Let us make this FDP an engaging and meaningful learning journey. Once again, I thank XLR for this wonderful initiative and for inviting me to be the part of this program. I warmly welcome all the faculty participants and wish everyone a highly productive and enriching FDP. Thank you. I wish you all wonderful learning experience.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are looking forward to an engaging and insightful session from you. So
Thank
now
you.
I would like to invite Mr. Amar Shivate to walk us through the elements.
Once again, very good afternoon to all the faculty members. So, myself, Amar, and I will just give you the quick walkthrough to the LMS part in next 5 to 10 minutes. So, by using the LMS portal where you can join the session, you can access the recordings of the session, training material, you can mark your attendance from the LMS portal. So, let me share my screen. Those who are not able to see their course in LMS portal, if you are registered recently, so that will be reflected in a 24 hours of time span. Okay, so no need to worry on that part. Yes, so LMS stands for Learning Management System, and it's a one-stop solution to access the all e-learning content. How we can access the LMS portal or how we can log in, where we find the details. So whenever you completed your registrations, it's automatic registration process. Whenever you are going to just submit your details, automatically your mails are going to trigger. But if you are already part of any of the program, then in that scenario, you will be receiving the LMS access in 24 hours. The first email which you have to check, that is LMS portal account details by XLR, and in that you will find the portal link, that's nothing but the LMS URL, username, that will be your mail address, and password, a system generated password. So by using these details, you have to do a sign in. Suppose, as I said, that if you're a second time or third time user of this program for any previous FDP or SDP or attended, then you will find only one email, that is a welcome email. Welcome to the FDP on GenAI for teaching and learning by XLR. Why? Because your account is already created, your previous courses are already there. That's the reason you will find only the welcome email. So now I have my details with me, the portal link, my username and password. So what I will do, I will click on this URL, I will provide my details and I will do my login or sign in. So quickly, let me reshare my screen. Ad is not clear, breaking. Okay, 1 minute. Tony, is audio is not clear?
No, Amar, it's clear.
It's clear. Okay, fine. Thank you. Somebody posted into the chat. Please check with your network once. Okay. So suppose I clicked on the link and it will take me to the login page where I'm able to see the details. Right? You can check here where I can provide my details, mail ID, and that is nothing but the username, password. I can click on a sign in and it will take me to the dashboard. Okay. So now suppose you have only welcome email, but if you are not remembering the password, whatever you received the previously, so in that scenario, you can just use a forward your password option. Okay, submit your password. You can just provide your email address, update your password, and follow the same steps. Okay, but I have my details with me. I will simply provide my details and I click on sign in. It will take me through my dashboard. Okay, so once we land onto the dashboard, we are able to see the multiple options here. Okay. So first of all, on a dashboard, you can check a live session for today. So today, to join the session, you receive a link via email or WhatsApp group, right? That Zoom link and YouTube link where you can click on, you can join the session. But from tomorrow onwards, you will be not receiving any email. For the same, you can just utilize the LMS portal to join the session. So make sure that you are on a dashboard. On a dashboard, you will be able to see the live session today. In live session for today, you will find your session, that is FDP day 1, that is 24th August. Once you open that, you will find the two links. First link, that is a Zoom link. It's an open meeting, you not required meeting ID and passcode as well, but still In any scenario, if you require, then you can utilize that. You just click on a Zoom link and it will take you through the Zoom session. If you're facing any difficulties over the Zoom, you can utilize the YouTube as well. So you can just click on the link and it will take you through the YouTube. So for the YouTube participant, whatever the query or question you are going to have, you can keep posting into the live chat. Our team will take it up. So this is how you can join the session using the LMS portal. Then how we can access the attendance, recordings or material. So scroll down and you will find one more option below the live session option, that is enroll courses. And you will get that course here itself. So I'm clicking on that course and you will find the course curriculum. So that is starting with the agenda. So if you click on the agenda, you will get the brief idea about the agenda. Actually, what we are going to cover for next 5 days, a day-wise agenda. Okay, it's planned and it's updated here. Then below that, we have attendance and feedback link. So you will find one link. If you click on that link, it will take you through one Google form. But for now, the link is not open. Okay. Why it's not open actually? Because the attendance and feedback link is to active for 1 hour. That is 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. First thing. Second thing, 60% attendance is mandatory to get the certificate of participation. Okay. So for all the faculty members, please make sure that 60% attendance is mandatory to get the certificate of participation. Second thing. Third thing, whenever you are going to fill this form, make sure that you are using a one single common email ID for all the 5 days. Why? Because if you are going to use the multiple email IDs, sometimes this will happen. You will use your personal mail ID, then you will be going to have your college domain mail ID, you will that mail ID, it will create your different accounts and you will not reach that 60% attendance criteria. So please take care of that thing. Next thing, now you will be having one question like you just register or you just join the session or you are going to get the LMS access, then how we can mark the attendance. So no need to worry. Our team will be sharing the attendance feedback link in the chat box as well on a daily basis sharp at 4:30 over the Zoom chat and over the YouTube in a live chat. Okay. And coming to the certification. So if you are going to reach 60 or 60% of the attendance, you will be receiving the participation certificate within 8 to 50 working days to your mail. Okay, I hope it's clear. Okay, so now let me go back below the attendance and feedback. We have live session, which I already explained that how you can join the session. Then session recordings. So day 1 to day 5, all the day session recordings will be available here, which you can access, and then reading material as well. So whatever the material Sangeeta I'm going to utilize for these 5 days, all the material will be available onto the portal as well. Okay, so this is how you can utilize the LMS portal, and in the future, if you are going to have any query or question on the platform itself, you have a help button. You can just click on help. You can drop a message, whatever query or whatever help you're looking for. Just click on a send query and we'll get back to you via email in a 24 hours. So yes, that's all from my side. Thank you so much. Yeah. So our team is already shared the registration link in the chat box. Why? Because to get the LMS access, registration is important. If you complete your registration, the LMS access will be triggered in 24 hours. If you're already member and if you're not able to see the LMS course on your dashboard, you will find that in 24 hours. Yeah. Thank you so much. And Sheetal, over to you.
Thank you so much, Amber. Now I would like to hand over the session to our subject matter expert for the day, Ms. Sangeeta. You can take over, ma'am.
Thank you, Sheetal ma'am. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Let me share the screen. Good afternoon, everyone. So I am here to talk about a concept known as So what is generative AI? So before getting into what is generative AI, I would tell you how generative AI is just brought up upon an impact from artificial intelligence. So we all know that nowadays the power of artificial intelligence is developing day by day. So artificial intelligence is the science and engineering of creating machines so that can perform any task that typically require human intelligence. But the task that is done should be understood by humans, and it is taken from the human life experience. So let us see. Okay. So let us see what is generative AI. Simply, it's a type of artificial intelligence that can produce new content across various formats. Here are a few areas where it's making a huge impact. First, content creation. So first is a content creation. It is generating text, articles, and blogspot, saving hours for writers and content creators. So next is image generation. So image generation, creating visuals or art from the text prompts as seen in the model like DALL-E. Okay. Now on its third version, next is coding assistance, providing code suggestions and completions with tool like GitHub Copilot, helping developers. So next, language translation. So which is the breaking down language in real time, breaking down language barriers in real time through advanced translation models. Then personalized healthcare, enhancing medical treatments like by tailoring recommendations based on individual patient data. And finally, marketing and optimization. It helps establish marketing strategies in business, and these capability make a generative AI a versatile technology that is reshaping industries. So we have so many contents. First is content creation, image generation, code suggestion, language translation, medical personalization, marketing, and optimization. So these are all these capabilities makes the generative AI a versatile technology that is reshaping now. So next we see what is generative AI. So a generative AI, or it is called as Gen AI, is a branch of artificial intelligence that can create new content such as text, images, audios, videos, code, and presentations based on user instructions called prompts. Unlike traditional prompts, AI, which mainly analyzes data and make predictions, but the generative AI can generate original content that resembles human created work. For example, tools like ChatGPT can write articles, answer questions, generate code, and create summaries. Okay, so AI image generators can create pictures and create pictures from text description, while other AI, while other AI tools can generate videos, music, and presentations. So generative AI is being used across many industries, including education, healthcare, banking, marketing, and software development. It helps improve productivity, automate repetitive tasks, support creativity, and assist in decision making. The power of generative AI lies in its ability to understand human language and produce meaningful outputs quickly and efficiently. In simple terms, generative AI is the technology that can create new content based on what users ask it to do. Okay, so this we call in very simple terms what is Gen AI. So next we are going to see for application of generative AI. So let's examine some real world applications and see how they work. So generative AI is at the core of many revolutionary applications today. So we have text generation, from producing entire article to summarizing content, tools like GP4 and transforming content creation across industries. So next is a language translation. So AI-powered translation tools are improving cross-language communications by understanding content. So then writing assistants, Grammarly or similar tools refine grammar, tone, and clarity, assisting professionals and student alike. So next we have business AI models or making business insights accessible, automating support, and enhancing decision making. So next is music generation AI is now venturing into creativity, composing unique tracks and musical elements. Finally, machine learning models, platforms like H2O.ai, AI are giving access to machine learning models, allowing users without deep expertise to create powerful models. Now that we understood the potential of generative AI, and now let's go deeper into how it actually works. So, how generative AI works? So, to understand how generative AI operate, let's break down the process. First, define objective. So, start with a clear goal, whether it's generating text or creating an image or assisting with code. So, next, gather and pre-process data. So, collect and prepare data, ensuring it's clean and structured with the model. Then choose appropriate model. So, select or design a model tailored to your needs, sometimes building on pre-existing models. So, next, train the model. Feed data into model so it can learn patterns and build into knowledge base. So next, evaluate and refine. This one, evaluate and refine. So fine tune the model as needed to optimize its efficiency and accuracy. Then test and validate. Run tests to measure performance and accuracy. Run tests to measure performance and accuracy, ensuring it aligned with the objectives. It should align with the objective. And finally, okay. And finally, deploy and iterate. So finally, deploy and iterate. So once ready, deploy the model and continue refining it with user feedback and data. And this cycle ensures generative AI model stay relevant and improve over time. So that's how the generative AI works. So it have the major steps. Let me list out once again. First step is define objective. Second is gather and pre-process data. And third is choose appropriate model. And fourth is train the model. And fifth is evaluate and refine. And sixth is test and validate. And seventh step is deploy and iterate. So this is how this generative AI works. Let's move on to the next slide. And now, sorry. Now, moving on to the examples of generative AI tools. So many generative AI tools are available today, each with its own specialty. The tools like GitHub, Copilot for coding, DALI 3 for image generation, and advanced language models like GPT are among the top layers. So here I have shown some examples of generative AI tools. So next we are going to see a global generative AI in healthcare market. So we are focusing on healthcare market. Okay, from now let's look at the growing presence of generative AI across different sectors. First, in healthcare, generative AI is projected to reach a 17.2 dollar and 2 billion market by 2032. Okay, 17.2 in dollar, 2 billion. I mean, in 2032, it would reach this. Okay, 17.2 billion. So, the transforming the clinical applications and healthcare systems. So, the generative AI, the presence of generative AI, it is growing across different sectors. So, here they have represented the chart. So, here it is showing the graph. So, in 2022, it is 0.8 billion. So, it is everything is represented in billion. In 2023, it is 1.1 billion, and 2024, it is 1.4 billion. I mean, I'm telling about the growing of generative AI across different sectors. In 2025, it is 2.1 billion. 2026, it is 3.0 billion. And in 2027, it is 4.0. Similarly, it is exceeding in 2032, it is 17.2 billion. So that's it. So we move to the how this AI, because last we have seen in the healthcare, okay, and now we are seeing how AI is supporting in education industry. So in next education, the AI-driven education market is expanding, especially for students, teachers, administrators, educational institutions, like making personalized learning more accessible. Okay, so this is the chart they have given. So how it is growing day by day. I mean, how you can see the growing of generative AI in education industry. And now adoption rate of generative AI, adoption in the workplace in United States 2023 by industry. Okay. And then the workplace of generative AI adoption is rising with the highest impact in marketing. Can you see here? It has compared with so many domains like healthcare, accounting, teaching, consulting, technology, and marketing and advertising. On the whole, this marketing and advertising is the highest one. It teach industries followed by sectors like consulting and healthcare. So you can see the percentage of it also. Here it is 15% for healthcare, 16% is for accounting, 19% is for teaching, 30% for consulting, 35% of technology, and 37% for marketing and advertising. Fine. And last, it is the screen for future of generative AI. Okay, from the art to music, AI open new creative horizons. Okay, new creative horizons. Next, AI personalization. That AI personalization, which tailored user experience, will become the norm. Then real-time generation. The real-time content generation will improve virtual assistants and automated responses. So next in AI architecture, AI will assist architects in design and material optimization. Then human AI collaboration. The human AI collaboration, as AI matures, human and AI will work in tandems to maximize productivity and innovations. Then advanced AI models. We will see even more sophisticated models pushing the boundaries of what AI can achieve. Okay. So generative AI, AI's future is promising. So with potential benefits that will enhance lives and drive economic growth. Okay, drive economic growth. Right. So next we are going to see for generative model. Okay. From you, okay, let us understand what a generative model does. In this diagram, you can see here, this is input. So this is generative model and this is output. From your input to AI generated output. So this is your input. From your input to AI is generating the output. Can you see here in the input, I'm giving the questions or prompts. Can you see the first question? What is artificial intelligence? I am asking to the Gen AI model and it is giving the output here. What it is giving? Artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence in machines, etc., etc. Actually, for the first question, it is giving the answer. And what is my second question? Here I'm asking for the question. And now what I'm saying, I'm telling to write a short story about friendship. So here it is giving the answer. Once upon a time, two friends went on a journey that changed their lives. So it is giving the story. And third, my prompt is which is related to the coding. I'm asking explain Python with an example. So see here, it is giving a Python as a programming language. For example, it is giving the syntax here. And the fourth, create an image of a mountain or mountain sunrise. Okay, so see here, it is giving the prompts. It is creating the image. So from this, what you need to understand, in this diagram, user asks a question and the generative AI model process that input. Actually, this model processing this input, okay, and generates a response. Okay, the cat in the middle represents the AI model. Unlike the traditional system that's simply retrieving, if you are going and searching in the Google, what it will do, if you're asking what is AI, the Google will search and give you many answers, but those are all the stored one. Okay, but generative AI, it creates a new response for you. It won't retrieve the stored answers for you. So if it is retrieving only the stored answers, so that is a traditional way you will get the reply. But generative AI is the one which will create the new responses based on patterns learned from large amount of data. It understands the context of the question and generates human-like answers. For example, if we ask what is artificial intelligence, it doesn't search for fixed answers. Okay, instead, it generates a relevant response based on its training. In simple terms, generative model takes an input or prompt and produces a meaningful output such as text, images, code, audio, and videos. Okay, so this is how generative model can generate all this type it can generate, and also and more it can generate. Okay, in simple terms, generative model can takes input or prompt and produces a meaningful output such as text, images, code, audio, or videos. Fine. So that is the generative model. And see for the next slide. So why generative models are important? Okay, so generative models are becoming essential because they can learn complex patterns and they can learn complex patterns from a large amount of data. Okay, they can learn complex patterns from large amount of data. Instead of simply storing information, they understand relationships, context, and structures within the data. Okay. The first reason is understanding the complex patterns. So generative AI can analyze huge data sets and discover patterns that may be difficult for humans to identify. So this helps organizations make better decisions and predictions. The second is content generation. So generative models can create text, images, audio, and videos, and even computer code. So this significantly reduces the time and effort required to produce content. And the third reason is building a powerful applications. Many modern AI applications such as ChatGPT, virtual assistants, image generators, recommendation systems, and intelligent automation tools are powered by generative models. In simple terms, generative model help missions learn from data, create new content, and power innovative AI applications across industries. Okay. The real world examples are education. What the education will do? The education generates study materials and quizzes. In healthcare, it assists in medical research and documentation. In marketing, it creates advertisements and social media content. In software development, it generates and review code. So generative model means learn, create, and innovate. They understand data, generate content, and enable advanced AI applications. So now this diagram, where generative AI exists. Okay. So you can see the hierarchy of AI technologies. Just observe this. This outer layer is a artificial intelligence, and second circle inside the AI is machine learning. And third circle inside the machine learning is deep learning. And the fourth circle inside the deep learning is generative AI. And you could see the appropriate definition of it. So this is the hierarchy: AI, so, and then ML, and then DL, and last it is a generative AI. So generative AI. So this diagram shows where generative AI fits within a broader field of artificial intelligence. So from this figure, you could understand where generative AI fits within the broader field of artificial intelligence. At the outermost level, we have artificial intelligence, which is the science of creating intelligent systems or intelligent uh, science of creating machines so that can perform a task requiring human intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, and decision making. Okay, so inside AI is machine learning. So machine learning enables computers to learn from data and improve their performance, being explicitly programmed for every task. So within machine learning, we have deep learning. Deep learning uses multi-layered neural networks inspired by human brain. So these networks can process large amounts of data and identify complex patterns. Finally, inside deep learning, we have generative AI. So generative AI is specialized in creating new content. It can generate text, images, videos, music, code, and much more based on user prompts. So that's all about this. That's all about this AI hierarchy. The question here is where Gen AI exists. Here it is. We used to say that machine learning is a subset of AI. Okay, machine learning is a subset of AI. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and generative AI is a subset of deep learning. Okay, because it is inside, right? Inside artificial intelligence, we have for ML. So inside ML, we have for DL, and inside DL, we have for Gen AI. So we need to say like generative AI is a subset of deep learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. So this is the hierarchy of AI technologies. And here you've seen the hierarchy, and here you can see the examples. So for AI, they have given the example of self-driving cars. And for the and for the ML, I mean, for machine learning, they have given the example of Netflix recommendations. And for deep learning, it was given face recognition. For generative AI, it has given the image generators. I mean, ChatGPT image generators. So we move to the next slide. Okay. Now, we are going to see the difference between discriminative model and the generative model. Here, two different approaches are given in the machine learning. Okay. Let us see what's that. The first one is discriminative model. Actually, it learns the decision boundary between classes to clarify the input data. Means it identifies and classifies data. Okay. It learns the difference between categories. Okay. Difference between categories and answers what is it. Okay. This is a discriminative model. So here we have given two input data. One is cat and another one is dog. So here we have trained the model, and now I am testing this model, okay, with either the cat image or dog image. So the output of the model is this model has to find what image it is. Okay, this is a discriminative model. Okay, so it learns the difference between the categories and it answers what is it. Example, cat or dog classification. So next we are coming for the generative model. So here it creates new data content. Okay, it creates a new data content. It learns patterns from the existing data. Okay, and answers, can I create something new? Okay, example, generate a new cat image, text, code, or music. Okay, fine. So this is the example. And they have given the comparison here. So can you see here? So they have given the comparison here. First, focus of this discriminative model is to predict the correct label. Okay, but the focus of generative is it will create the new data. Okay, here it will predict for the correct label and here it will predict for the new data. First, they have compared these two models with 5 reasons. One is, first they are comparing with the purpose. The purpose of discriminative model is to classify input into predefined categories. Okay, so here the purpose of generative model is it creates new and realistic data. Okay, and second is data required. So here it required for labeled training data. Okay, it requires labeled training data. But here it can work with unlabeled data. Generative AI can work with unlabeled data. Okay. And third is examples. Examples here is, so cat versus dog, like because it works on classification, cat versus dog, and spam versus not spam. In Gmail, we have for spam and not spam. So spam versus not spam. And third is sentiment analysis. Fourth is disease prediction. Okay. So these are all some examples were given for the discriminative model. And here examples are image generation, text generation, music generation, video generation. So here are all the few examples for the generative model. Okay. And the last is use case. Discriminative model used for recognition and classification task, where generative AI used for content creation and data generation. Okay. So that's the 5 different, 5 reasons they have given here. One is purpose. In the 5 ways, they have differentiated generative model and discriminative model. Here, if you are asking to generate a cat, it will generate a cat for you. Okay, it will generate a cat for you. But here, you are giving the labeled data. This is cat, this is dog. You are already giving lot of, or 50 images of cat to this model, and then you are training this model. Similarly, you are taking the 50 images of dog as the input, and you are training this model. Then this model will find which is cat and which is dog. But it is not like that. If you are simply asking, giving a prompt, generate a cat, it will generate the cat image. Okay. So that's the difference between these two. And one more example they have given here. So this slide explains the difference between discriminative model and generative model using a music example. Let's look at the top section first. This one. We are going to just have a look on this discriminative model. You just first observe this chart. The first we are taking, we are giving the input. Okay. So music data. We are giving the input and type of the music. Music data or type of the music. We are giving the input here. And what does the DL model do? It learns to distinguish between different music types. Okay. And third, it will do the classification. This music belong to classical, or this music belong to romantic, or this music belong to rocking. Okay, so output is, it will classify, because this is the input music you have given to the model, and output, it will do the classification. Okay, so that's the discriminative model. Yeah, discriminative model receives music data as input. Its purpose is to analyze the music and determine which category it belongs to. For example, after processing the music, the model may classify it as rock, classic, or classical, or romantic music. Okay. In simple terms, discriminative model focus on recognizing patterns and assigning the correct label. Now, let's look at the bottom section. A generative model. A generative model works differently. And see here you have given the existing music or music patterns. So you are giving one music as a sample. So generative model learns patterns and create the new music. Output is, it may be new melodies, new songs, background music, all composed music. So it is giving the output like this. Let's see. Okay, fine. See here. So discriminative model comparison. Okay. So based on the purpose, so discriminative model classify input into predefined categories. Okay. So based on generative model, it generates new data or content. So data requirement. So based on data requirement, it requires the labeled data. But here it can work with unlabeled data. And example for discriminative model is music genre classification. And here the example is AI music generation. And fourth is answers. Answers is, what type of music is this? And here the answer is, can I create new music? So this is the answer. Okay. Focus, based on focus on decision boundary. And here the focus on data distribution. So this is the difference between discriminative and generative model. Just have a look on this. So generative model works differently. Instead of classifying the music, it learns the patterns, rhythm, and structure of existing music. After learning these patterns, it can create entirely new music that sounds similar what it has happened. For example, AI music tool can generate original songs, background music, or melody without directly copying the existing music. The main difference is simple. So discriminative model identify and classify data. Generative model create new data. So this is why applications such as spam detection, image recognition, and disease classification use discriminative models, while ChatGPT, AI image generators, and AI music generators use generative models. A quick comparison is so generative model classifies data, creates data, predicts labels, so generates content answers. I mean, what is this? I mean, what I can create. So example is music generation. A key takeaway is discriminative model equal to classification. Generative model means creation. This is the one and only small you can, in a one word you can define it. If it is a discriminative model, is for classification. Generative model is for creation. Just have a look on this slide for 2 minutes. Hope you understand for this. So till now, whatever we have discussed is clear. You can give your reply in the chat box. Till now, what we have seen is clear. Vidya ma'am, yes ma'am. Okay. Ujita ma'am, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for all your reply. Thank you. Fine. Manjula ma'am, fine. Vinita, Anisha ma'am, fine. Rajan ma'am, Swati, Sunita ma'am, Sneha, fine. Fine. Okay, fine. Durga Prasad, yes, yes. Fine. So we can move on to the next slide. So next we are going to see for LLM. We are going to see for what is for LLM. For that, I'll share another slide. Just give me a second. Give me 2 minutes. I'll open for another slide. Okay. So now, so today we are going to learn about one of the most important technologies behind generative AI, that is large language models, commonly called LLMs. So many of you have used ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude AI, or similar AI applications. But what happens behind the screen when we ask a question and get an intelligent response? So today we will understand that technology from the basics. Okay. So LLM is the foundation of modern generative AI, understanding, generating, and transforming language across industries. Okay, so we see this. Let's see what is LLM. So already we know LLM stands for large language model. In simple terms, an LLM is an AI model that has learned patterns from a very large amount of data. It can understand the context of our input and generate a response. For example, if I ask an LLM to explain Python to a beginner, it can generate an explanation suitable for that request. So LLM can also write content, summarize documents, translate languages, generate programs, and perform many other language-related tasks. So from here, what you understand? So LLM means AI model trained on large amount of data, learns patterns in language, so generates human-like text, understands context, performs language-based tasks. Okay. So here are some of the examples of LLM. So GPT, Gemini, Claude, Llama, Mistral. Okay, so these are all some examples of LLM. And why do we call it a large language model? Okay, why we call large language model? Okay, so there are several reasons, and here you can see it here. So LLM are trained using large data sets. Okay, the first one, large data sets using, LLMs are trained using very large data sets and require significant computational resources. Okay, they also contain a very large number of parameters. So parameters are values that the neural network learns during training. Okay, you can think of parameters as learned patterns that help the model process and generate language. However, remember that a large model is not automatically better. Model quality also depends on architecture, training data, training methods, and other factors. Okay. So these are all the reason why do we call it as a large language model. Okay. So in a very short points, they have given you large training data sets, millions of learning parameters, large neural network, high computational requirements, ability to learn complex parameters. Fine. So next, let's look at the overall process. First, how does an LLM work? First, large amounts of data are collected. The model is then trained during a process called pre-training. The modern LLMs commonly use transformer-based architectures. Okay. After pre-training, additional training may be used to improve instructions, following, and usefulness. Finally, we provide a prompt. The trained model processes it and generates a response. Okay. So these are all the steps. Okay. So how does an LLM work? Okay, the first, it will get the data, it will pre-train it, and it will use the modern LLM commonly use the transformer-based architecture. After the pre-training, additional training may be used to improve the instruction following, and usefulness. And finally, we will provide a prompt. the trained model, process it, and generates a response. So this is how the LLM works. And next is, what is a tokenization? An important concept in LLMs is the token. The model does not directly process language exactly as human do. Okay. The text is converted into tokens. It's converted into smaller units called tokens. The text is converted into smaller units called tokens. A token may be represent a complete word or a part of word, punctuation, or another piece of text. Okay. The exact way text is divided depends on the tokenizer used by the model. So used by the model. Okay. So the general process is text become tokens. The model process the tokens and the output tokens are converted into readable text. So once again, I will explain the general process. The general process is text become tokens. The model process the tokens and the output tokens are converted back into readable text. Okay. Fine. So next we are going to see for parameters. So parameters means it's a learned values inside a neural network, updated during training, help the model learn patterns, capture relationships in data. Large models may contain billions of parameters. Okay. Fine. Let's show the parameters are another important concept. During training, model adjusts its parameters so that it becomes better at its training objective. So these parameters help model learn relationships and patterns. For example, the model can learn relationships between words, sentence structures, programming concepts, and many other patterns. So you may hear terms such as 7 billion parameters or 70 billion parameters. So on when discussing large models. Okay, so that we call it as parameters. So parameters are turned layer by layer until the network reliability captures the structure of language. So this is known as parameters. These are all inside the model we are speaking. And now we are speaking about the architecture. So transformer architecture. So it is the foundation of LLMs, uses attention mechanism, processes relationship between tokens, supports efficient language processing. So in model, LLMs are largely based on architecture called the transformer. The transformers become extremely important because they use attention mechanism very effectively. The transformer allows the model to understand relationships between different parts of the input. This architecture has become the foundation for many modern language models. Okay. So the key components are attention, self-attention, feed-forward networks, multiple layers. So these are all the key components of transformer architecture. So next, we are going to speak about the attention mechanism. So attention helps the model. It helps to identify the important tokens, and understand the relationships and use the surrounding context and handle the long sequences. Attention means which focus on relevant content. Let us understand attention with a simple example. Suppose we say the student gave the teacher a book because she needed it. To understand the sentence correctly, we need to identify relationship between different words. The attention mechanism helps the model determine which tokens are important when processing another token. So in simple terms, attention helps the model focus on relevant information in the context. Okay, it helps the model focus on relevant information in the context. Okay, so I hope you understand about the attention mechanism. And next we are going to focus on pre-training. In pre-training, we have for large scale model training, learns larger language patterns, learn relationships and patterns, use massive data sets, learns grammar and structure, forms the foundation of the model. So these are all the pre-training. The pre-training is one of the most important stages. The model is exposed to a very large amount of training data. During training, the model repeatedly performs its training objectives such as predicting tokens. Though this process, it learns many patterns in language and other data. The model doesn't learn exactly like a human student memorizing a textbook. It learns statistical and structural patterns through optimizations. So next, token prediction. Just observe this slide. Okay. One of the key ideas behind language model generation is next token prediction. Suppose the input is artificial intelligence is the model calculates probabilities of possible next tokens. It then generates a token, continues the process. The model repeatedly predicts the next token until it produces the complete response. This happens extremely quickly. Okay, extremely quickly it happens. In simple, this one will try to predict what is the next token. Okay, so here I have stopped, right? Artificial intelligence is. So these are all the possible next token. Maybe is powerful, or AI is useful, or AI is transforming or changing. So these are all the possible next tokens. This next token prediction, which will always try to predict what will be the next token. Okay. Okay, fine. So move to the next slide. So the next slide is fine tuning and alignment. Okay. After a pre-training, model can undergo additional training. Okay. So here are a few steps, right? Fine tuning and alignment. So additional training after pre-training. Okay. Adapts model for specific tasks, supports specialized applications, improve instruction following, improve conversational behavior. See, after pre-training, model can undergo additional training. So this can include fine tuning or instruction tuning. The purpose is to make the model more useful for particular task or better at following instructions. For example, we want an AA assistant to understand instructions such as explain this concept in simple English. Okay, so the additional training helps the model respond appropriately to search instructions. Okay, so that is fine tuning and alignment. And next is, what is a prompt? An instruction or input given to an AI model, that is known as prompt. Okay, an instruction or input given to an AI model. Okay, when we interact with an LLM, we provide a prompt. A prompt can be a question, instruction, context, or combination of these. Compare these two prompts. Python. This is very broad. Now, explain. So, this is, see here, this is broad, Python. Okay, now, see here, explain Python loops to a beginner with 3 simple examples. So, this gives the model much more direction. This is very broad. So, we don't know what they are actually requesting for. Okay, so, but here it is very clear. So this gives the model much more direction. Okay, so this is why prompt engineering has become an important skill. Okay, that's why the prompt engineering is very, very important skill. Fine. So next, let us see what is prompt engineering. So the prompt engineering means designing effective instructions for an AI. A good prompt should clearly communicate what we want. We can specify the role, task, context, expected format, examples, and constraints. For example, you are a Python instructor. Explain recursion to a beginner. Give an example. Okay, so you are a Python instructor. Explain recursion to a beginner. Give one simple example and explain each line. Can you see this prompt? So this is the prompt. In a Python, as this prompt engineer has to act, they are telling the role definition. Okay, you are a Python instructor. That means it is telling a role definition, because the person is it should ChatGPT this has to assign it act like a Python instructor. Like a Python instructor, okay, it needs to explain the recursion program in Python with a simple example, and also it needed for each and every line explanation. Okay, so this is more specific. Okay, it is very specific. This kind of prompts are very, very specific. Okay, or else in a very, very simple prompt you can give explain recursion. That's it. Okay, that is the difference between these two prompts. So designing effective prompt means you need to satisfy all this condition. So one is you need to clear the, you need to give a clear instruction. Second is focus on the context. We will be seeing each and everything, and I will tell you to create a prompt on each base. I will guide you in this. So third is role definition. Fourth is giving with examples, asking the ChatGPT with examples. And fifth is asking the ChatGPT in a specified output format, that you need it in Excel, or that you need it in Word document, or you need it in PDF, or anything. You are specifying the output format here, and with the constraints. So only these define your prompt as very effective. Clear? Next. So here I have listed a popular LLMs. Okay, so the LLMs are very familiar today. Okay, so ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude AI, Llama, Mistral. So some models are differ in capabilities, size, context length, cost, speed, deployment options. Okay, there are many LLM family available today. Some well-known examples are GPT, Gemini, Claude Llama, and Mistral. So these models are not identical. They may differ in their capabilities, context handling, cost, speed deployment options, and other technical characteristics. So these are all the popular LLMs. So LLM applications. So you can see what are all the applications are here. Chatbots, education, code generation, document summarization, translation, data analytics, content creation, so customer support, AI assistant, AI agents. So LLMs are now being used in almost every industry. In education, they can help create learning materials. In software development, they can generate and explain code. In business, they can summarize documents and assist with reports. They can also support customer service, content creation, and translation, and many other applications. So these are all very familiar and famous LLM applications. And LLM for software development. One important application in software development, it is the one important application in the software development. So AI assisted coding, I mean like generating codes. So it will explain the code, it will debug the errors, it will convert code, so generate a text cases, so create documentation for it and suggest improvements. So an LLM can generate a program from a natural language instructions. For example, we can ask, write a Python program to find the factorial of your number. The model can generate the program and explain it. However, developers should always review, test, and validate generated code. Next, we move on to LLM hallucination. One of the important limitations of LLMs is hallucination. What is hallucination? When an LLM generates information that sounds correct, but it is actually incorrect or unsupported. Okay, it sounds like correct. It means not all the generated items must be correct. Okay, you need to cross verify it. When an LLM generates information that sounds correct, but it is not actually correct, it may be incorrect, it might be incorrect or unsupported. Okay, so it is like possible reasons are incomplete content, ambiguous prompts, model limitations, insufficient reliable informations. So one of the important limitations of LLM or hallucination, sometimes an LLM can provide an answer that sounds very, very confident, but it is actually wrong. It may produce incorrect facts, references, calculations, or other information. Therefore, we should not blindly trust every AI generated answer. For important information, we need verification and reliable sources. Okay, fine. So now let us see what is the difference between LLM versus search engine. Okay. Is LLM the same as the search engine? No. So Google is a search engine. We are using it on our day-to-day life. So if the LLM and search engine are same, then the answer is no. A search engine primarily helps us to find information. and sources. An LLM generates responses based on what it has learned and the context available to it. Modern AI application can combine language models with web search and other tools, giving us both generation and information retrieval. Just have the look on this. Okay, now let's introduce RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Suppose a company has thousands of internal documents. Instead of expecting the LLMs to know every document, we can retrieve relevant information when the user asks the question. That information is provided to the LLM as context. The LLM then generates an answer using the retrieved information. This approach is very useful for company knowledge bases and document-based application. And the benefits of RAG is external knowledge, private documents, updated informations, source-grounded responses, enterprise application. Once again, and repeat this. Suppose, I'll just tell the example of once again. Suppose a company has thousands of internal documents. Instead of expecting the LLM to know every document, we can retrieve relevant information when the user asks a question. That information is provided to LLM as context. The LLM that, sorry. The LLM once again, the LLM can retrieve relevant information when the user asks the question. That information is provided to the LLM as context. The LLM then generates an answer using the retrieved information. This approach is very useful for company knowledge bases and document-based applications. Next slide. Just have a look on this LLM tools. Okay, so LLM plus tools. And LLM becomes even more useful when we connect it to external tools. For example, a calculator can perform precise calculations. A database can provide unstructured informations. An API can connect the AI to another software systems. So instead of asking the LLM to do everything itself, we can allow it to use the appropriate tool. So LLM plus tools equal to more capable AI. So LLM and AI agents. Just have a look on this. Okay. So LLM and AI agents. So AI agent. Now see this workflow. Goal, plan, use tools, observe, act, and complete task. AA agent is equal to LLM plus tools plus memory plus planning plus actions. Okay. This leads us to AA agents. An AA agent is a system that can work toward a goal using an LLM and other capabilities. For example, an agent may receive a task, plan what needs to be done, select tools, perform actions, observe the results, and continue. So we can think of LLM as an important reasoning and language component, while tools give the agent additional capabilities. The next slide is real world example. Let's take a real world example. Imagine a sales manager uploads monthly sales data. An AI system could retrieve the data, analyze sales trends, generates charts, identify important changes, and use an LLM to explain the findings in simple language. This is much more powerful than simply asking an LLM to guess why sales changed. So next is LLM limitations. LLM have many advantages, but we should also understand their limitations. So they can hallucinate. Okay. They reproduce biases present in their training data. So depending on their system, their built-in knowledge may not be current. They can also be privacy, security, cost, and context limitations. Therefore, responsible AI usage is very important. So these are all the LLM limitations: hallucination, bias, outdated information, context limitations, privacy concerns, security risk, computational cost, accuracy limitations. Future of LLMs. Here you can see many things. So multimodal AI, enterprise AI, advanced RAG, AI agents, AI coding assistants, local or on-device AI, smaller and efficient model, personalized AI, AI plus robotics. Okay. The future of LLMs is much bigger than chatbots. We are moving toward multimodal AI that can work with text, images, audio, video, and other data. We are also seeing rapid development in AI agents, enterprise AI, coding assistants, RAG systems, and smaller efficient models, and AI-powered robotics. So learning about LLM today provides a strong foundation for understanding the next generation of AI systems. Key takeaway: LLM equal to large language model. Let's summarize today's session. An LLM is a large language model trained on large amount of data. We learned about tokens. We learned about parameters. We understood the transformers and attention mechanisms. We discussed the pre-training, fine-tuning, prompting, and prompt engineering. We also introduced RAG tools and AI agents. And finally, we discussed hallucinations and other limitations. The most important message is that LLMs are not just chatbots. They are building blocks of intelligent AI applications. So these are all the key takeaway of today's session. And just have a look on this. It is a hands-on activity. All of you can open the chatbot and you can try for this. So there are different types of prompts they have given. So first one is explain machine learning to a beginner. And second prompt is you are a Python instructor, teach recursion. And third, create a 5-day Python learning plan. And fourth prompt is, which is based on data analytics. Okay, analyze this sales data and identify its trends. And last prompt is based on project idea, suggest an AI project for ECE students. So each one, the first one, for the first prompt is for explanation. Second prompt is role-based. Third prompt is structured output. And fourth prompt is data analytics. And fifth is project idea. So I want every one of you to open the ChatGPT, or which is your favorite LLM, you can open that, either Google Gemini or Claude AI, whatever you want, you can open it and try for these prompts. And what is the result you are getting? Just post it in the chat box. So anybody is trying with this? So I could see the reply from Hari Prasad. He had the 3 main types of learning. Is it the reply? See, try for that. I mean, I have given some prompts there, right? Just try any one of the prompt by opening any LLM. And what is the response you are getting? Post it in the chat box. If you are done, just give the answers in the chat box. At least any one of the prompt you can try it and then give the answers here. What is the result it has generated? Just copy and paste it here. Okay, I could see the result of Prem Prakash Agrawal. So machine learning is a way of teaching computers to learn pattern from data like that. Fine. Only one can give the response. Yes, I could see the result of Vidya ma'am. Okay. So I see the results of Rajiv Verma. Hari Prasad, fine. Yes, I could see the code of Dr. Praveen Kumar sir. Amol. Okay. Arati. Fine. Okay, I could see the few results of it. Fine. Yes. Vandana ma'am. Fine. Okay. It is good to see all your results. So next we are going from LLM to AI agent. So to conclude, we can look at the evolution this way. We start with LLM. We learn how to communicate with it using effective prompts. We connect it with external knowledge using RAG. We connect it with tools and APIs. And finally, we build AI agents that can perform multi-step tasks. So this is the direction in which modern generative AI is moving. So don't learn LLMs only as a chatbot technology. Learn them as a foundation for building intelligent applications. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So if there is any doubts, you can ask me here. So up to this, you understand this, whatever we have seen today. Do you understand this? Any doubts? So why are we getting different results while writing a same prompt? See, that's why that is called as generative AI. If you're going and searching in the Google, it will give you the same answer for multiple times. How many times you search, it will give you only the same answer. How many times you refresh the page, it will give you the same answer. So that's why it is called as a traditional way of searching. But here, generative AI means what it is generative AI? It creates the new content. When each and every time you are giving the prompt or you are running the same prompt differently, it thinks that you are not satisfied with the answer. So you are searching for better. So it will give you new answers. It will create the content new for you. So that's why it is giving the new content when you are putting the same prompt again and again. Prem sir, you understood this? Okay, fine. See, a difference between ML classification and Gen AI cluster. So the clustering also you can call it as classification. And see here, if it is ML classification, you need to write the algorithm and you need to analyze the data set, analyze the problem, analyze the patterns and trends available in the problem. And you need to apply the proper unsupervised algorithm that you need to decide for the better accuracy and everything. You need to apply for it. But in case of Gen AI, it will automatically understand what is the data set, it will analyze for it, it will choose the correct algorithm for it, and it will do the classification. There is a difference. Here, everything you need to do it. You need to analyze the problem. You need to do everything. But here, it is not like that. This LLM will automatically create the new content. It will understand and it will generate the required output for you. Thank you, Monica, ma'am. Fine. Fine. Thank you. Fine. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So attendance link is given in this chat box. You can check the chat. Thank you, Vinita. Thank you, Vidya, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Vinit, sir. So fill your attendance. This one. So fine. So shall we wind up the session, ma'am? Sheetal, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you, sir.